Tyler Reddick in the Freak Nation. He's been on the radio show a few times. First time we've grabbed him at Phoenix Raceway as we're out here for the NextGen test. And I don't want to repeat all the answers that you had in the press conference. But that being said, you seem like you feel pretty privileged to be able to come out here and test this car and how important this is for you to develop this car and to feel this car, what it means to you as a driver for this 2022 season. This is pretty badass, isn't it?
It is. I mean, championship's going to be decided here. So this is the most important test of our off season, and it's the last test before the year starts. So we've been able to gather a lot through the initial tests, if you will, begin to understand the car. So to have this last final test right before, a little over a week's time we'll be at the Clash, is really important to get as many laps as we could, learn as much as we can, because it's going to kind of set the groundworks for where I guess we base a lot of our knowledge for a lot of the short tracks this year.
You've got a day of testing in this thing. Where are you now on the familiarity ranking from 1 to 10? 10 being you're so damn familiar with this car, 1 being I still can't grasp it. Where are you?
I definitely felt like I was at a 1 for the first couple hours in this thing. We had some challenges along the way, so I feel like when we come back, I think we'll truly have the capability of being 10. I think where we're at, we're right about an 8. Still not a good number for me. That wasn't planned, but we're in a pretty good spot with it. We were really happy with where we ended the test. The pace was good. Good understanding for some adjustments that we will have at our disposal when we come and race adjustments. So in a good place, but it's been very interesting. I feel like, especially with this car, every track, it's almost like kind of starting over with the NextGen car. You build a familiarity with the Gen 6 and the previous cars and kind of know what it feels like. But this car truly, really reacts to every little thing that you input into it, and that includes the track as well. So every track, I think, especially to start, is going to feel vastly different from the other.
By the way, these mics pick up our voices pretty damn good. So if it just looks like I'm talking, it's go. Real quick before Crasher gets into something. We talked last year, or actually I think the tail end of last year, where the best driver not to win a race. And it was you. So many people talked about Tyler was so close, and you were so close. You had numerous top 10s. When does the light come on? Like, I'm going to win this damn thing. Or did it come on going, I've got to win this thing last year? Or are you even there yet?
No, the opportunity's been there. We've had moments, the pay window's opened, if you will. As dirt racers would say, it's time to go get it, and we just haven't gotten it, unfortunately. There's a lot of races there at the end of the year where, in position in stage 3, right where we need to be, just, make the wrong call. Then we've had some races where we really tried to give it away as best as we could, and at the end of the race, we're still up there, and then, we do give it away, but, to have that speed on a consistent basis, to be able to be running around the top 10, you can creep your way into the top 5, those type of days throughout the year really helped us get closer and closer to that. And we came to some really good tracks at the end of the year for us. Once we were knocked out of the playoffs there, the final month and a half stretch, that were going to be good for us. We just unfortunately didn't survive, our lull in the playoffs to make it to that round in the playoffs. So it was good for us, but we certainly just need to keep working. It's nice to see those type of results, that type of pace, but everyone else is working really hard, and we got a brand new race car now. So it's all kind of like hitting the reset button, but thankfully for us, I feel like we kind of had to come from behind just to catch up, just to compete with some of those guys last year, and we were able to do that easy. So that's exciting when you think about that and what we have in front of us.
2022 is a massive restart button, whatever you want to call it. But how much of last year's mental mind games are you able to take away from that? Because, yeah, it's a new car. You've already got an advantage with all the testing you've had in this car. But of those lessons that you learned mentally last year, how much of that is going to translate for you?
I wouldn't say necessarily the on-track experiences necessarily translate as much, but certainly just going through the motions and learning and overcoming adversity on the racetrack or whatever the situation might be, that's all experience that's going to make you stronger and better for the next time that something not really planned comes your way. But the way this car races on the racetrack, you kind of just got to start from scratch, go back to the basics, or when you race, racing around others, I should say, and just try and have an open mind about it, because I think probably the worst thing you could do is just get ahead of yourself, start to tell yourself, okay, this is the characteristics, this is how it drives. Just keep an open mind about it, and just learn as much as you can at the start of the season. It's going to be a learning curve the whole year, honestly. But the more you learn, the more you absorb, the better you're going to be. That's the way I think this car is going to be to start.
Is there anything that can translate from your dirt days, whether it's dirt open wheel or dirt late models, to this car, or anything the way it races, anything the way that you feel behind the wheel that can translate?
I guess the only thing I can think of is just, the difference in steering. We ran steering boxes on stock cars, forever. And with this car, going to a steering rack, that the feel of what that rack is like, I guess is one thing in particular. But other than that, it's good to have those experiences, understand what it takes to adapt, to drive a late model, drive a midget or other forms of racing. But you just don't want to box yourself out. You want to keep an open mind about it and just absorb all the information that you can through the car, because it's a totally new thing. You can say it's like this, it's like a Trans Am car, it's kind of like, Australian V8s or something like that, but you just, like I said, if that can help some, good for them, but for me, just going to approach it like this is a completely brand new thing, and just going to learn as much as I can from the car when I'm in it.
How much did you learn with ice fishing a couple weeks ago?
That was actually Sunday. That was only a couple days ago.
Geez.
Yeah, I was in Maine Sunday. I flew here Monday. That was a lot of fun. Different kind of cold, but pretty wild, pretty fun. I really liked it up there. I don't like the cold if there's no snow involved, and thankfully Maine had a lot of snow, a lot of ice. Just pretty crazy to see pretty courageous people out there driving around their pickups and Jeeps and whatever on the ice. You had 2 feet of ice. It's pretty solid out there, but a lot of fun to go ice fishing. New for me. Frigid, very frigid, but yeah, good time.
Well, that reminds me, though. Richard Childress, he's old school. And when we started Speed Freaks 20-plus years ago, it was a lot of drivers would drive whatever they wanted to. Then it came to, you guys are making so much cake. Nope, you got to stay with the Cup car, man. But now it seems like it's reverted back to the old days where, whether it's Chase Elliott, and of course Kyle Larson, and other drivers going to go out there and run what you brung. And you now, how much are you going to be involved outside of just Cup, running on dirt and maybe some other series?
I've got to figure that out. Ice racing would be kind of cool. Yeah, we'll just see where it goes. I've always understood it's a huge advantage, because I think that's what, if it wasn't for racing, hundreds of times a year, I wouldn't have learned or developed the way I did. So I knew it was really...
What do you want to do, Tyler? Come on, man. Richard's not watching this damn thing. What do you want to do, bro?
Richard's good with it. We've talked about it a lot, actually. He's never, ever since I've stepped foot at RCR, said, hey, you can't do this, can't do that. He's been all for it, because he understands. He's a racer. He knows that the experience gained throwing yourself in something completely new is going to be beneficial. But, I wouldn't say I have anything, really locked down yet. I'm thinking I might run a super late model on asphalt for the first time. I'd like to get back to running the Chili Bowl again. It's been almost, 8-9 years since I ran it.
Why aren't you running the Chili Bowl?
Well, I may not be that smart, but I at least know that you can't just sit out of a midget for 8 years and think you're going to go knock the rust off on practice day at the Chili Bowl and then run worth a crap. So I want to be ready when I go. I want to be, I grew up racing against Kyle, and he's doing a great job when he goes and runs. A lot of those guys, they're running good. I don't want to make us look bad. I want to be ready when I get there, because I want to go, I'm not just there to have fun. I want to make the damn A Maine. I want to run good, So I realized that what goes into that is preparation. Why have we been running better on the Cup side? Well, it's time, preparation, and getting ready. So I know that, that same thing's got to go into that. So I've just been waiting for the right opportunity or the right time, I guess, in my life too, where I feel comfortable enough taking those extra weeks or days to prepare and be ready and really be all in when I go do it.